This is a freshwater shrimp, or call it a scud. They're not the same creature in the water, but they, I suppose, act much similar and are feed for fish in a similar way. I'm going to tie it on a number 14 hook, although you could do a smaller hook, a 16 or an 18, maybe even a 20. I'm using a dark dun for the tail, also for the clipped hackle on the front. I'll show you how to do that. I'm going to use tan dubbing for the body. For the underlegs, I'm going to use the tip from a partridge feather. So I've just tied my thread in on the back by the bend of the hook where I'm going to tie the tail in. I'm going to take a few fibers off this dark dun hackle feather, about hook shank length for that tail, and wrap that in. Now Fling and Puterbaugh tie this in 3 different colors. They do a tan and salmon, so the tail and hackle or legs are salmon colored, or they do a light gray, dark gray, where the body is light gray, or they do an olive. I'm going to be doing this with that dark tail and top, and then I'm going to be doing this tan dubbing for the body. It is a scud or shrimp, so they're kind of leggy, so if it's a little bit buggy, I guess it's okay. I'll tie that in. Yeah, this is fairly different from other scuds that I've tied or seen tied, where there's a casing on top, no tail. Now I'm going to invert my hook. I'll do that by rotating the rotating vise. This vise does not adjust enough to get that center of rotation proper, so I'm going to have to adjust the camera to get that hook in the middle of the screen. I have just the tip of the partridge. Normally I would cut out the tip if I'm doing a soft hackle, but this is for the legs, and I like the look of this for the legs, so I'm tying that in on the bottom of the hook shank, curvy side, so that those legs are curving away from the point of the hook. And I'm just doing a couple of loose wraps so that I can pull those out and get them to that length where they don't quite get to the point of the hook. And then I want to be sure that I'm holding on to that tip while I wrap that in tight so that they don't turn over on the shank. And do a couple wraps underneath, trying to keep it clean up here by the eye. That's the trouble I've had with this fly, is making sure that I don't crowd that eye. And then I will turn the hook back over properly, adjust the camera, his legs are maybe a little long. I think they'll be okay. Then I'm taking another clump of that dark or dark dun, and this is going to be tied in on top of the hook shank. Right above the legs. I might want a little bit more there. I can just tie another clump in on top of that. Pull up on those butt ends, wrap that into the head. And then this is actually all just getting clipped out. I'm calling it a mohawk, but just so that it has kind of a hairy top head, I guess. And then some of those are going to get wrapped in. I'll do a whip finish, put a little bit of head cement on that, and this is a freshwater shrimp or a scud. One of the places I fish is Lake Taneycomo in Branson, Missouri, and Lake Taneycomo has been seeded, I guess you call that, with freshwater shrimp to feed the trout. It's both stocked and naturalized now, but freshwater shrimp is one of the diet staples of the trout there. So a freshwater shrimp or scud from Fling Puterbaugh's book, Basic Manual of Fly Tying.